digital, baby. Digital deceiver shadows lie in the mix. White socks. We don't chase clout, we chase truth. Now let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Alley Cat. Good morning to everybody who's gotten up this early on a Wednesday morning. Hey, little bit. How you doing, honey? How is everybody? Ooh, trying to get settled. Oh, the little stand that I purchased. Oh, thank you. To put the phone on. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody had a great weekend in the first couple of days of the week. Good morning, Sherry, Erica. I saw a few of my mods this morning. I'm sorry. But good morning to my mods. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here. So it's been a very interesting. I was sick, but I'm going back to work today. Okay, Shauna, I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, this week has been a strange week. Lots going on. It's been crazy. So let's get. He's already whining. And what is he doing right now? Using the litter box, as usual. Normally, he hits me right before I go live, but he's doing it now. So, shout out to the smell for the next 30 minutes. Let's see. Let me show you the grid for today. January the 21st. Today we're going to talk about Fei Fei, Timon Angela, Cece and her return, Black Mamba, Stella Simone and her confession, Auntie Rifa. She may be new to you. She was new to me, but she's not new to begging for money. Then we got Shernika and her constant need for a beg. Oh, Shona, or as she's better known, a Pookie. And wait a minute, it's not supposed to be Danica. 1 second. I mean, what about Daniel? I watched him for a few minutes this morning, and all I know is that he has moved. But I don't talk about the same people every live. So it's based on who I've watched for that period. Yes, some are repeat, but it depends on who I've watched before the live. There's no point to me regurgitating information that I've already said. I know there's so many to talk about. Oh, good morning, Granny Annie. Thank you for my flowers. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, Kat is back. We'll talk about her, but okay, at the bottom, I mean, I could talk about Danica and I may, but it was supposed to be Peaches. I updated it and changed it. Thank you very much, guys. Please, if you are a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If you are not and you like what you see, stick around and then join the team. If not, that's okay too. What I ask is that you tap until you see the heart. Keep tapping until you see the heart's tail. And then fill it and then take a break. If you'd like to gift, I appreciate it. It is not mandatory or a requirement. It is appreciated but not expected. So thank you, thank you. Just remember, every time I change a photo, like the live. And for people who may not be aware, I only have 2 reasons. The number at the end isn't what's important. It is to make sure we can end up on the For You feed. And when people who don't like what I discuss, the people in particular, they can't take us down. So that's the goal. So good morning to everybody coming in. Where do I want to start? Let's start with Faye. So now, hold on, guys. I have to take a sip of my tea. White Sox. White Sox. Okay. So now, we all know that Faye is a beggar sometimes. She's a racist and a rage baiter sometimes. She is a sympathetic figure sometimes. But what Faye fails to appreciate is that who she is in part the reason why she fails to have success in life. 100% of the time, yeah. Jesus is Lord. I'm sure you want prizes, right? What are prizes? What are prizes? Anyway, I'm not going to get distracted this early. So, that's what they mean by gifts. Completely the fact that she's benefiting from these people. Okay. Well, welcome in. Anyway, so Faye has been looking for a job, and she even posted her rejection from McDonald's. Like, where do we do that at? But Faye is upset. First of all, she calls San Diego a town. You have one more comment and I'm going to mute you. Because there's no little kids over here. And you're distracting my chat. Sit here and listen. Oh, well. Already got there. That's okay. Yeah, she was rejected by McDonald's. But one of her problems is that she calls San Diego a town like it's Timbuktu in West Virginia, in the hills of West Virginia. You live in San Diego. Could be Susie Q. He ended right before I went live, but who knows? Anyway, she wanted to go to an interview. Hold on. White Sox. She wanted to go to an interview. She wanted Uber money because she claimed that there wasn't a bus that went where the interview was. And people's next logical question, well, if a bus doesn't go there, how are you going to get there and back every day? And instead of Faye acknowledging that, she got mad at the people in the chat. Well, why are you mad at people in the chat? They didn't do anything to you. But it's because she has a sense of entitlement without feeling a sense of responsibility. Jess, why are you requesting to come up already? Or was it a mistake? Good morning, Nana. Listen, there's been so much drama on TikTok. Who knows where it's coming from? And you guys know I don't really care. So Feifei is upset that she lives in a town and that she describes her neighbors as Arabs, which is crazy. And she's upset because they have businesses and they don't want to hire her. Now, do I think that's fair? No. They should be willing to hire anybody who's qualified. But it would be disingenuous for me to say that without also acknowledging that one of the reasons why people come and they get businesses of their own because they had a hard time getting jobs in the normal American economy. So they buy a hotel and hire the friends that they know. They buy a 7-Eleven and hire the friends that they know or their family members. So, but Feifei lives in San Diego. And you want me to believe that the only jobs that are available are jobs that the owners are foreigners and they just won't hire her? San Diego isn't a little city with one hotel, one McDonald's, and a post office. But everything happens to Faye. Does Faye not realize that her activities on social media are there for the taking? Anybody can look her up. Who would want to hire her? And then she have an interaction with a customer that is a race she doesn't like, and now you have a whole lawsuit because Faye doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut. Faye feels like, as an American, her right is to say anything to anybody without consequence. You aren't a nice person, my dear. You fly all over TikTok spouting your racist views and then wonder why you can't get anybody in your life to give you money. And of course, she asked for money for groceries, to do her laundry. I can't remember if the last one was medication, but there were three things she was asking money for. And she's flabbergasted that she can't get it. You're not only nice to random people on TikTok, you're not nice to the people that actually come in and support you. Your day one supporters don't even come in there anymore. Good morning, good morning. So when she asked for the money and people were like, absolutely not. She's like, well, you'll give to big creators and you'll do this and you'll do that because they're likable to whatever group is giving them the money. You somehow don't seem to understand that who you are and how you represent yourself is the problem. Now she's gotten rid of all of her mods. She's her only mod. Why? Why is that? Well, welcome in, Batty. I hope I'm not sure who you're referring to. Who's that, Batty? I saw a video by somebody named Squishy. It was hilarious. Right, that is 99% of the beggars. And while we're on the subject, where's Timmy Nashi? Well, who wants to mod for somebody as deplorable? His name is Dab King 420. Okay, I'm gonna write it down. Let me tell you something. It's funny because Timmy being away only makes room on the grid for somebody else. I was thinking, oh, well, if he's gone away, then we'll have time. Him going away only means that there's room for somebody else. Well, the question is, if he really has left where he was going, left where he was from, which we know he was in Chattanooga, by now he should have seen his probation officer. Yeah, I know he has a YouTube. Has he been going live on his YouTube, Sheila? I saw that he was on a boat. I saw he was on a boat. But then is that the place that he bought for that he rented for the two of them? I just don't and senior mate, hold on. Y'all know I like to have the person's photo. I don't understand the timeline. So, and I apologize. I know y'all he wasn't on the grid, but she's supposed to be in the hospital in the ICU. She didn't want to stay where they were. Now, let's be honest. He said that they were no longer in Tennessee, which we all knew was a lie. But he did his best to convince the people in his lives that he was no longer in Tennessee. She's in the ICU. She doesn't want to stay, is what he's saying. But that they need to stay so that she can get better before they get back on the road. You're going to see her every day. You celebrate your birthday with her while she's in the hospital. No. What did they celebrate? They celebrated something with a cupcake. I can't remember what. She couldn't even eat solid food for a while. And then he got a job. And he begged for the money for the job for a bus pass. Right? Which he lied to us about. We were able to prove that. And then He tells us that on the first night, even though he got enough money to get there and get back, somebody gave him a ride on the first night. So then the question is, what did you do with the money? Then on the second night, he asks for money again and he wants another week's bus pass. He supposedly works that night and then he has the option to work the next night, which is now Saturday night. And he was going to get paid the following Friday. Then he comes to us. He needs to be able to get her medication. He needs his medication. He's bringing her home to a tent. Oh, it was Tim's birthday? Okay. Back to a tent. And within what, 24, 48 hours, he's broken up with her and he's claiming that she unalived the turtle? Right, Rochester. You haven't even been there long enough to prove yourself. But let's follow the timeline. She comes home and unalives the turtle. And some person that you randomly met in Chattanooga that you've only been there for 3 minutes is going to let you take their car? But remember, we were hearing car doors open and close around him all the time. I think he moved places because we could hear the dog and we knew where he was all the time. And let's be honest, who's to say that he even had permission to be on a boat? Correct, Sunshine? Correct. Talking about it's a copy on his phone. As a person who did HR for many years, that isn't allowed. That isn't allowed. Because anybody can get a copy or a picture that is falsified and show it. Right, justice for the turtle. I don't even know if I believe that story. What I am confused about, however, is that how could she change up that fast? He's saying they're not going to be together because he broke up with her this time. And as usual, oh, the things she said. How many times has he told us that? What I'm confused about is why Elle hasn't come forward to clear her name. Correct, Rochester? So then, after getting said job that was going to pay him very well, because they break up, he has to leave the city and the state. Mind you, as he's telling the story, 1 minute he says he's already gone, and then the next minute he was like, I have to leave here. I don't want to be here anymore. Well, if you're already 6 hours away, where is here? Then it was, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. And then, well, I know where I'm going because my boss is going to get me a job in the place that I'm going, and that's why I'm going there. And then 2 minutes later, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going. Sir, you just gave us a whole storyline. For anybody who still continues to mod for Tim Nash after this, you are a deplorable human being. You are a sycophant, and you choose to see his lies and continue to support him anyway. Oh, he can cry on demand like anybody's business. He should be the actor. No, his account is gone. He lost his new CA, I believe. No, because if he got banned, it would show that it no longer exists. It would say it no longer exists. Carolina, I agree with you. People often ask me, what's the harm if an adult gives money to another adult? The harm is that the person gets accustomed to that fast, easy money and they never make changes. And in Tim's case, we know that he was using substances, which could unalive him, which makes it even worse. And I don't buy that they're trying to help him because they know where the money is going and yet they continue to send it. Even giving him money for a cup of coffee prevents him from hitting the essential rock bottom necessary to go get treatment. And while we may think 25, 35, $50 a day isn't a lot of money, to someone accustomed to living on the edge of life, it's all they need. They just want enough to get by. They don't want to succeed because succeeding means getting rid of the vice that they've gotten accustomed to. So you can't say to me that I'm the bad person for bringing to exposing what's happening and yet continue to give these people money as if you don't know what they're using the money for. How many of them have gotten so used to getting money for White Sox? What do you have to say this morning? Because you've been doing a lot of talking. Huh? Now you're silent? Okay. For some reason, he is on it this morning. Oh, probably because the door is closed. Y'all, it's been cold in Florida. I will open the door in a minute, okay? You're okay. Too much catnip. They don't actually get a lot of catnip, believe it or not. So let me follow you through what's wrong when you give money. You're out of your money. That means you no longer have it to spend on yourself, your family, your children, your community. Second, by giving them the money every day, they become reliant on external funding to keep their life going. And when they get accustomed to it, and it's a dopamine hit every time they hear the ding ding that they've gotten money, they no longer feel like they need to do anything else other than come to TikTok. Some of them even feel like coming to TikTok and just staring at the screen is content that deserves getting paid for. And then third, it encourages other people to get rid of their money so that they don't have it because they see somebody else give it and they think, well, this must be a worthy cause. Where's the upside? Where's the upside to doing it? I don't see it. And people like Tim and Lisa and Tim and Angela, the ones who have been long haulers, and we have Austin Tamargo is now back to begging on a daily basis. What is so sad is that some of them, like Kat, who is back, have this momentary get themselves together when getting money on here becomes difficult. And then they come back. Like TikTok's their old faithful. Oh, Squishy's video, and he tried to make one back. It's not going to work. Oh, Tim will be back without question. Unless he was picked up, which people are saying they're looking and they're not seeing anything. Unless they got enough money to hold up for a second. So he doesn't need to come to TikTok on a daily basis. Or he's gone to rehab, which is what we can hope for. Or he's just waiting to rebrand himself. But what I will say is that this whole last charade, which again, if they broke up and he broke up with her, Elle not telling her side of the story is sketchy to me. Whatever happens, Tim is the kind of person that likes to brag on any minute success. I am of the feeling that he will be back. It'll be like a new branding for himself. It'll be a different name. It'll be a new him. He'll be back. They always come back because you got to remember, looking at the numbers, seeing the number of comments, getting the encouragement is addicting just as much as the money will be. Carrie, people have been looking and they don't see it, but who knows? What I don't want is for him to have gotten the money, and because he felt so overwhelmed by life that he overdosed again like he did the last time he got $300. That's what I don't. I wish. I pray, like Granny says. I pray that that's not what's happened. Correct, Sherry. Good morning, by the way. Yes, he admits to it. He considers it his clean date. So y'all keep thinking that giving people money is showing your loyalty or showing your kindness. Keep it up. And when something goes wrong, everybody's going to want to scatter. Everybody's going to want to be like, oh, it wasn't me. I just thought I was helping him with a hotel room, or I just thought I was helping him with a bus pass. There have been enough of us talking about him for, in my case, for the last year, that y'all know better. There's been enough comments in the comment section that you know better. Now, y'all know that I don't side with trolls. I don't think it's helpful. Now, if somebody would, like, people who make accounts where the name is like, Tim is lying, look him up, or something along those lines, fine. I know it's trolling, but it's trying to get people to the right information. The trolls where they're talking about the way they look, family members, all, I don't co-sign that at all. Lord, he wasn't on the list, but he might as well have been. Okay. They do make it worse. It gives, and it encourages people to give them money. So it's pointless. Let's talk about her real quick since she's back. Again, I don't have a lot to say other than to say that yes, Heather, they'll be next. Um but to say that this morning she's already online asking for $100. I saw her come back last night. She may have come back earlier than that, but again, she's claiming homelessness and she needs a hotel room. Good morning. Good morning to everybody that's come in since I've been live. Good morning. Good morning. Please, if you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. But what I really ask is that you tap the screen every time I change a photo until you feel the heart's tail, and then take a break and listen. If this is your first time here, stick around. Stick around. I may introduce you to some people you've never heard of. This is Kat. Kat was a beggar. She got herself together, got a job, ended up with a fiance, had a car, and then I strongly believe that she started using again, and the girlfriend, fiance was over it and kicked her out. She had a really bad bout with it, and she literally would come on every day, all day long, asking for money. Then she met a girl and moved in with the girl, but she wasn't supposed to be there. So for weeks, she was going live begging for money in a closet. And none of us could understand why she was in the closet until she got kicked out. And then she said she was staying with a girl and her mom, but the mom didn't know she was there. When the mom finally figured it out, the mom kicked her out. She got hotel rooms for a few days and then she disappeared again. And the only thing I could think of is she found somebody else to live with. But if she's begged for money to go to work, get clothes. She showed where she was supposed to be starting a job, and then before you know it, that was over with. Then she needed money to get to her check, right? And then tried to tell people she had to pay the job in order to get her check. Make that make sense. So she's back this morning. At the time that I went live, she had already come on live 2 or 3 times from a Starbucks begging for $100 for a room. Oh, yes. I bought a new notebook too. And for anybody who has a problem with a notebook, how do y'all think I do this 3 mornings a week without a notebook? I don't understand what the problem with a notebook is, but I'm proud of mine. Proud of it. And I just bought a new one because this one probably won't last a few weeks. We only have a few pages left. Right, puppy power. Picture me not having a notebook. I love my notebook. Anyway, so she's back. For everybody who may not be aware, be on the lookout. She wants $100 today. Oh, I got one other thing. This is a shout out to Gigi Wink. There's a documentary on her favorite, Wade Wilson. It's on Paramount Plus. I watched a couple of episodes last night. Shout out to Gigi. Somebody let her know that her man is up there. Yes, she is in love with him. She tried to say she's not, but girl, people remember when you were excited by being in the courtroom. Oh, I'm sorry. I did that so fast. Let me show you. It's on Paramount Plus. Handsome Devil, Charming Killer. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Oh, give it some time, Sheila. Give it some time. Tim and Angela, we have changed the photo. Please tap. And good morning, Tim and Angela. I'm sure you're here. And how I know you're here is because I say A and you do A the very next live. You know what's crazy about Wade Wilson? When he got locked up, he didn't look like that. He had a lot of tattoos, but there weren't very many on his face. That's post arrest. That's all prison tats. I was like, he was a handsome kid at one point. Well, see, Queen, I questioned who leaves their wife in the ER to come outside and alert people on TikTok. Why would you leave your wife? And I asked Mister, if I was in the ER and we didn't even know what was wrong yet, would you go outside and go live on TikTok to let my friends know that I was in the ER? He was like, hell no. Absolutely not. So the next time she was in the hospital and he went live from the room to try to prove it. That's how I know that they listen. And she'll be like, people get up at 6 in the morning. They talking about me. So I know they listen. So let me do this first. Because I know a lot of people had questions, made comments about cellulitis. Let's talk about it. And as you can see, this is all from WebMD. Cellulitis happens when there is a break in the skin and bacteria gets inside. So it is not about being fat. It's not about being lazy. It's not about laying in the bed all day. It is a break in the skin that bacteria gets inside. It could happen to anyone. Now, one of the reasons why you are at greater risk when you are overweight is that there are places in the skin that can break down. You can have wounds or dirty cuts or areas with poor blood circulation. The most common types is strep or staph. And they live on your skin anyway and underneath your fingernails. So again, it's not about being lazy or overweight. It could be anything. It can come from an injury, a surgery, a skin condition like eczema or athlete's foot or psoriasis, a foreign object in the skin, or an open wound underneath the skin. It could be poor hygiene. But there has to be an opening in your skin for the bacteria to get into it. It says breaks in the skin are the most common cause of cellulitis. But it can also happen in areas that aren't clean. So to lower your risk, wash your hands with soap and water and sing happy birthday before you touch your skin. Shower regularly and put on clean clothes. Also, clean any wounds to prevent bacteria from getting inside. The point I am making is that this can happen to anyone. The risk factors. There's an injury to the skin. You have a weakened immune system. You have circulatory problems where there's insufficient blood flow to your arms and legs, poor drainage of your veins or lymphatic system, lymphedema. We know all about lymphedema, right? From our girl. She is at very high risk of getting cellulitis. Most of the time, the treatment is antibiotics. It even shows the common antibiotics. But for some people, it takes longer. And the reason why I did that is because some people didn't know what cellulitis was. But then I saw people say things like, it's because she's fat. And I wanted to correct the record on that. So, that doesn't take anything away from the bag. The fact that somebody sent them over $300 in one clip to pay for their hotel room for a week. And I'm sure they did it because she was in the hospital and they wanted to make sure that they wouldn't have to worry about the room for a week. What's going to happen next Tuesday? Do you think that Timmy is going to take this week and go find additional work? He's going to say so. But on next Tuesday, next Monday, they'll be back on asking for money. In the meantime, they may be back on asking for food. Or she needs more medication. But I can't stand when people play in your face. He has EBT but doesn't know anything about getting Medicaid. Come on, y'all. Crystal, I don't think so. I really don't. I think they need the money. Well, Puppy Power, she can't do that, remember? She can't do that. And now, of course, he can, you're right. Good morning, Tishy Wishy.
Good morning, Dee Dee. I'm not gonna stay up long. I'm sick, but if they get on here trying to say they need food and don't have EBT, y'all know I know Tim and Angela real life, and somebody very close to me, Dee Dee. You know what I'm talking about. You've talked in DMs. I'm not gonna say who it is because I'm gonna say the job. She is the district assistant manager for Jackson Hewitt, and she's worked in Dyersburg the past 2 days. And 2 days ago, she ended up in line with him at Walmart right beside him, and he was buying all kind of snacks with his EBT card.
Wow.
So if he gets on here talking about we don't have our EBT yet and need food, he is straight up lying.
First of all, I hope you feel better.
Thank you. This weather going back and forth just got me all jumped
Me
up.
too. Me too. No, he didn't. He tried to say that they sent him 3 case numbers and he uploaded it to the wrong case number. That's not possible. That would be like me logging into my electric company and paying somebody else's electric bill. When
Yeah,
you
there's no
log
way that don't
in,
happen.
right, when you log in, you go right to your account. So it probably, and he probably didn't do the redetermination on time. when you are homeless and relying on something like EBT and Medicaid and you know there's a redetermination, it is your responsibility to get the redetermination because you know you're not going to get a letter. So they didn't do the redetermination on time, but this is the critical thing. He's at Walmart buying snacks but not real food, and then we'll come back and be like, we don't have anything to eat for dinner.
Yep.
That's how they play that.
Yep. So I just want to let everybody know that if y'all are in his chats, if he's on live and he's asking for money for food, and you see people on offer, just y'all have the info. Y'all can send them messages and let them know it's a lie for sure. It was proven.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
Didi, I'm
you,
gonna drop
Tishy
down,
Wishy.
or you can drop me down. I don't know how to, but y'all have a good day.
No problem. Thank you, Tishy Wishy, and I hope you feel better.
Thank you, Didi.
Well, of course they were going to get it back. It was just a redetermination issue. But see, Tim and Angela are the perfect example of being in expectation of other people funding the situation so they don't have to. Does he really look like he should be drinking a Monster? Somebody with high blood pressure? Correct, Sherry. It's all manipulation because they're homeless without a job. Now, the big beautiful bill went into effect January the 1st, which set new rules, which allows you to receive SNAP for what is it, 4 months before you have to be in a program, volunteering, or working. Oh, it's 3 months? Now, I don't know how it works for a couple. I don't know if only one of them has to be working or what. But whatever it is, they're going to have to meet that standard. And Timmy's unaccustomed. They've gotten accustomed to having to only do the bare minimum. And then whatever they need or want beyond the bare minimum, they come to TikTok for. "3 months for 3 years, and no, each person has to work or volunteer." Okay. Yes, correct. In a lot of places, did you hear Gabby? The doctor told her to give Cam Red Bull to see if he has. And Georgie, if anybody believed that, I got a bridge to sell from here to the beach. Be for real. I want my own walkway from here directly to the beach. I need to go get some of her sycophants so they can build me a bridge. Yeah, you're not going to be able to buy snacks, anything with sugar, processed food like cakes and snacks and soda. I don't know what they're going to do. Georgie, they will. And even if they don't believe it, they like her and them so much that it doesn't even matter. They literally could say, okay, Sherry, they literally could say anything. It doesn't even have to make sense. And they'll be like, oh, okay, a doctor told you that? Like, come on. Good morning, MLA. You mean somebody named Dr. Dre? Like, come on. Be for real. Oh my goodness, Georgie. I'm so sorry. That's scary. And that's what I mean. Like, what does Tim look like drinking a Monster? Like, you have to be really, really. when you have high blood pressure, you can't even take regular cough and cold medicine. But every time you turn around, he's like, my blood pressure is up. Well, if you're eating things full of sodium, you wonder why your blood pressure is up? And again, this isn't about what he looks like. This is about the fact that what he is relying on other people. He's relying on government assistance. What is so crazy for me, and this also goes back to Feifei. They literally will point their fingers at other people while they lay on their ass on government assistance. You want to talk about, well, you came here illegally or your parents brought you here illegally, so you don't deserve to be here. But what's interesting is, where are they picking these people up? They're not in a bar. They're not laying in a bed in a hotel room. They're at work. Did you see where some agents went to a Mexican restaurant, ate the food, and then waited until everybody got off and then arrested them? They're at work. They're showing up at construction sites and farms. But you want to lay on your ass on a bed and talk about them? Whether, and this isn't about the politics. This is about the hypocrisy of it all. Feifei, the building you lived in was probably built by people who you're telling to get out of the country while you lay there and not have to pay a dime for it. The hypocrisy is killing me. Why don't you get out there and work for what you have? But yet, you want to sit here, get government assistance, beg other people who go to work or have their retirement and cry, woe is me. He talks about how people talk about them. Do we remember how he talked about Nana? And forgive me for the other person, I don't remember her name. When he owed them money and they asked for it back? Do we remember how he talked about them and the things that he said? And the fact that they had a complaint meant that he wasn't going to pay them a dime? But they're the ones who should be treated as harmed. You know, what we do is harming them, that we just lie about them and people believe. I don't have to lie about you, Tim. Just Janet, yes. I don't have to lie about you. I watch what you do. And then the other thing he does that pisses me off is he conflates one thing with the other. He'll say, this person is mean, this person is bad, and then he'll conflate whatever they've done with something I've done. I say all the time, I watch and listen to what you say and do, and then I talk about it. And if it reveals that you are a succubus, if it reveals that you are lazy looking for other people to take care of you, then that's just what it shows. Good morning, good morning. That's just what it shows. They also somehow feel like they're the only person we discuss. Oh, I'm famous. Y'all spend all day watching me and talk. No, I don't. No, I don't. I talk about 6 to 9 people when I go live. And that's not even everybody that I've watched. And they say, oh, well, they don't have a life. They're miserable. Trust me, I have a life and I am far from miserable. Do you have a life? What is your life like? I prefer mine over yours. How about that? Oh, we're jealous of them because people aren't giving us money. I don't need people to give me money. No, they don't work. He works for 5 minutes to make a point to prove something. He gets a job apparently with a landscaper, knowing good and well in 5 minutes there's not going to be work. But my question was this: his co-workers, where did they go for the winter? Where are they working for the winter? Cookie Monster, listen. Who would be jealous of having to come online, bare your soul, tell all your business, and hope that you get money? I'm good. I'll take my life. You can have yours. But don't you dare sit there and act like other people are piss poor. Other people are doing worse things than you are while you lay around and do nothing. What is so funny to me is that you may have wanted these deportations, right? You may have voted for them. You might have thought this was the right thing and that it was going to be the worst of the worst. Well, it's not just the worst of the worst. Did you see where there was an ICE agent arrested and charged with the sexual exploitation of a woman in an ICE detention facility so that she could see her daughter? Don't believe me? Look it up. What gives you the right to abuse a woman who's locked up, facing deportation, so that she could see her daughter? But what you didn't expect was that there would be rules put in place that would affect your life. So now you have the big, beautiful bill. And I do not want to hear you complain about it. I don't want to hear you complain about it. Okay? Correct. It's always okay when it's somebody else. Well, believe me, it's coming your way. And I better not hear a single complaint. Go get a job. There's a whole bunch of jobs open now. Go wash some dishes at a Mexican restaurant. You do not get to sit on TikTok and beg for money so that you and your wife at your big age don't have to work while other people work to fund your life. It's not a little bit of help. It's $1,200 a month, and that's just for the hotel room. That is rent. That is rent. So we'll see what happens next Monday. Because the reality is even if he were to get a job today, unless it was paying him daily, he won't get a paycheck for at least 2 weeks. So we are at least looking at another $600 before he can take care of him and his wife. Lisa Marie, well, where you live, DM me, honey. DM me. Because it's way more expensive here. She is out of the hospital, right? Mhm. He goes live and he's like, not live. He does a video. Well, she's home now. We just wanted to let everybody know, and we're not going to be live because we're just going to spend some time together. When don't y'all spend time together? Ashley, listen. You act like you are working every day of the week and you had to take a day off because she went to the hospital. We're spending time together. Be for real. They can do whatever, they can say whatever. But as long as they are living off the kindness of other people, week after week after week, day after day after day, when they don't have the foresight to see through something, and I'm going to address something else. Your wife had to have a hysterectomy because she had precancerous cells. That is a proven fact. To manipulate your audience and say, this is why we don't have kids, is outrageous to me. Nobody is suggesting that she didn't have a hysterectomy. The hysterectomy is why you don't have children. That's nobody's fault. It's not your fault. It's not her fault. But you don't get to claim being a cancer survivor. She never actually had cancer. She had precancerous cells. They are two different things. And I'm tired of you utilizing that to try to say that we have stuff wrong, that we're in your business, that we're teasing you somehow about the reason why you don't have children. Correct spot for spirit. You are not a cancer survivor. And that's manipulation. But that's how they survive, by manipulating people. Correct, Sarah Geezy. Neither did I. I went through having my uterus frozen so that all the cells would die. I'm not going to say I had cancer. I had a tumor which resulted in my hysterectomy. It wasn't cancerous. So I'm not a cancer survivor. So stop it. And nobody well, I don't care about seeing your wife's medical records at all. He's like, they want to see my wife's medical records to prove it, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about seeing her medical records. What we're trying to understand, oh, I didn't see anything, Granny. I'm sorry. What I see by watching is that they seem to be convenient. They seem to be convenient. The moment you need money, oh, we didn't sleep last night. My blood pressure went up and she had a seizure. Granny, you could take it down. That's my problem. My problem is that people with seizures all over the world get a job. She had a job. So how could she have a job 8 months ago? Same conditions. These conditions aren't new. But now those conditions prevent her from working? How long have they been trying to find an attorney for her social security? Bender and Bender. Look them up. They are a national social security law firm. They do almost every state. And apparently, under the new administration, they've been getting through them faster than any administration before. I was surprised because it takes Social Security sometimes 2, 3, 4 years to get it. I'm not saying it's an easy process, but looking for a lawyer for a year, yeah, that's not necessary. Unless you have lawyers who are telling you, yeah, this probably isn't a case that could be won. Good morning. You might be looking for a lawyer because you're looking for one that'll take your case. Because the way it works is if you have the lawyers don't get paid unless you win. So they don't take cases they don't think they could win because it's a waste of their time. If you don't win, they don't get paid. So either you don't have the medical documentation to back up your claim or you don't have a claim at all. Really, just Kim, well, that's new. Brenda, this is the thing. There are people who do suffer from seizures who get Social Security because it's that bad. Correct. You also have to see a doctor on a regular basis. This whole idea that they go to the town clinic once every 6 months and get prescriptions, that's not gonna qualify. Yeah, Queen. They try to wait people out because you can't work and get disability. It doesn't work that way. Oh, that's amazing. It's me don't talk. That's fast. That's not the usual. Okay, enough about them. We have so many more people to talk about. Let's go with Cece. She was under Serene Water. Now it's the Turner family. And let's give her congratulations. She's supposed to be getting married today to this man that she just met. And she's pregnant. But she's really early. And let me tell you something. She's already admitted. Let me get to my notes. That she's very high risk because she's had miscarriages before. Yes, she is pregnant. She's 25. And there are certain things that young people do that let me know that their frontal lobe hasn't closed. Most people, I should say most women, when they are prone to miscarriages, tend to keep it quiet at least the first trimester because they know that they're at high risk. But there are people who will say and do anything for attention. Shout out to Gabby. Shout out to Christina, who use pregnancy and miscarriage for all of the attention in the world. Because even when it's a bad situation, shout out to Kiki and Zim, there's going to be somebody who's like, congratulations. Because a baby is a blessing, especially one to term, because so many things can go wrong. But here you are. Apparently, she works as a home health aide. You finally got housing for you and your 5-year-old son. And now you done let this random man move in. And now you're pregnant. And now you're getting married. And now she's going to lecture us on what real love is. Girl, I promise you, my 25-year-old brain thought that she knew what love was too. Now, let me just say right off the top, the thing that pissed me off the most is that she's letting this man discipline her child. Bitch, what? He's 5 and they took his television away. He's 5. Do you expect a 5-year-old not to make mistakes? And I don't even want to know why. I don't even want to know why. But my question is, why is he the one taking it away and not you? Why is he yelling at your son? Mind you, while she's on live, when he's not even taking care of his own child. Correct, Sherry. You could put a 5-year-old in the corner for 5 minutes. He's 5. He's gonna make mistakes. Correct. You're not even taking care of your own child. You have no relationship because you want to say that your baby mama is crazy. And she might be. And if she had to deal with you, a Rolling Stone, you might be the reason. So this is what was funny. She's a home health aide, and she says he does a lot. What's a lot? And how much does a lot get paid? Because if it's good money, I want to do a lot. Sign me up for a lot. A lot sounds good. But you're having a baby with a man that does a lot. And as usual, oh, you're getting married. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're having a baby. Congratulations. What are y'all congratulating exactly? Mind you, they asked him how old he was. He came to, she's like, he doesn't want to know, people to know. He walks right up to the camera and it's like, I'm 35. And she's like, the lies you tell. I'm looking at you with a side eye. What you mean the lies you tell? So then how old is he? Well, he was fixing the door in her place. Cause he does a lot, y'all. And then she's like, he's new to TikTok. He just got a TikTok. And so I'm suggesting that he shows all of the maintenance work that he does. Yeah, his a lot. His a lot. Right. There should be a show 90-Day Marriage instead of 90-Day Fiance. Mr. Jesse himself. He does a lot. Now he claims that he has to run because of how dangerous his baby mama is. Do you consider her dangerous because she's taking you to court so that you could pay child support? And you got locked up for not paying child support? Is that why you're always on the run? Because she said, he told me if it wasn't for me, he'd be on the highway. And you think that's cute? You think that you're so good and so much better that what he did to his first baby mama and son, he won't do to you? Again, young and dumb. But don't worry, she'll lecture you on what perfect love is. And then someone said something, and we must be jealous. We must not have a man of our own. Girl, your man couldn't cross my threshold on his best day. He does a lot. What is there to be jealous of? At what? Why do they think we're jealous of them? What is there to be jealous of? Like the people who live in a hotel and have to beg for the money every day. People who have to beg for food money. People whose relationships are all over the place. Somebody with 6 kids that can't manage, that has to get people to give them money for presents. What is there to be jealous of? Because this is the reality. Let's say the economy gets worse. Let's pray it doesn't. But if it does, and the people who send you money are now too tight to send you money, what are you going to do? So it's cute now that you got people who will send you money. But at some point, they rotate out. And eventually, the money dries up. Ask Asia. Ask Carl. Ask Lisa, for that matter. And then what are you going to do? Why would I be jealous of that? Correct, puppy power, for even longer. But you have to raise those 6 kids. You don't even know how to discipline your 5-year-old correctly, and now you're going to add another baby. Mind you, she's already, my emotions are all over the place. You know, hormones, hormones. And then he comes up and he hugs her. And she was like, he does this to me several times a day where he just gives me hug breaks. And I love that. Are you jealous your man doesn't do that for you? No, because my man is at work. He has a job that's not called a lot. So no, he's not with me 24/7 to give me hugs. And I'm still not jealous. What is wrong with these people? We must be jealous because you get a hug. Okay. He does do the most. But again, when I see a relationship this performative, the countdown clock has already started. How many do y'all see where that couple in California is getting a divorce? And they were at the top of their TikTok game, of their social media game. She's gotten so popular that her best friend is SZA. They got 2 beautiful kids. He's a chef. She's a content. They live like millionaires. They're getting a divorce. Right, Pink Panther? A battery operated boyfriend is better sometimes, I'm gonna tell you. Get yourself a Bob. Mind you, he was like, Mommy, Mommy, Mom, Mom. And people were like, your baby is calling you. She's like, but he's just gonna say the same thing. I don't care. You take the time out your day to hug this man. So why you can't take the time out your day when he calls for you? So then he said, this was so sad. He says to her, my sister's in heaven. And he has a little bit of a stutter or a speech impediment. I don't know if it's called a stutter. And she's like, that's what he's always been saying. But she felt the pressure from the chat. So she finally listened to him. And he says, my sister's in heaven and she's scared because my new sister is coming. And she said she doesn't have a reason to be scared. She's in heaven. She doesn't have to be scared now. Do you know how stupid you looked ignoring that baby? And he's saying his sister is scared, but she never stopped to ask him if he was scared. She didn't inquire. That's a young and dumb mother. And understand, I was young and dumb once too. That's why it's so easy for me to identify. But instead of recognizing that there are people who are older and wiser, she knows everything. And clearly, she doesn't have anybody in her life that can check her. That's the most dangerous person in the world. Is somebody who doesn't have anybody in their life that can check their behavior. Because they'll do anything because they think they're right all the time. And then, no sooner than it happens, she comes back. Guys, it would be great if you lit up my gift gallery. Here we go. Light up my gift gallery. So we're going to watch the train wreck. We're going to watch the train. If it's not in the hospital, we're going to watch the train wreck. Right. You needed $20 for gas, but you're going to get married to a man that does a lot. I still want to understand how much a lot pays. Should I should I put an ad on Indeed saying I'm looking for a job called a lot? But let me know how much it gets paid so that I can tell them what my salary requirements are. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Come on now. Y'all be serious. Dang, we already at 8 o'clock? Oh, Stella. If I got it right, Stella is 64 years old. Lord Jesus, please don't let me be Stella at 64. Please. Stella is a bright woman. She can teach herself a lot. And she says she learned, good morning. Oh, hey, Granny. She says that she taught herself how to fix her brakes, which I think is amazing. Like, do your thing. I hope I don't have to learn to fix my brakes at the age of 64, but do your thing. She is enrolled in school, but not going because how could she? She stays in the car 24/7 with the cats, which with the sickly looking cat at that. Cats are not meant to live in a car. I'm sorry. They're just not. They need to stretch their legs too. They like to run around. They need stuff to do. And crawling from the front seat to the back seat isn't quality of life. I don't even know why the ASPCA is allowing her to do it. And my thing is this, one cat, maybe. But 3, 4, 5, in a car? But anyway, I guess it's allowed. She is in school for psychology. Can you imagine her being a psychologist? Can you? She has very strong political views, which is her right to have. But can you imagine her having a patient that was conservative? I don't even know if she could contain herself enough not to go off on them because she's uber liberal. Oh, Stella sits in the car and she has the nastiest attitude. Everybody, Mama Cat a lot, but not all. But not all. But there's a level of professionalism where somebody may be liberal, but they can put their feelings aside to be the psychologist for the person. Now, not everybody in psychology goes into direct patient care. There are other jobs. She will block you if you're MAGA 110%. And something else, but I didn't know what she was talking about, and I didn't bother to care to find out. And she wanted to know what would happen if somebody set up free schooling. Well, unfortunately, you live in America and that doesn't exist. My question is, at 64, how was she paying all of her expenses prior to the house thing going down? And I remember the other day saying, why didn't she sell the house as is and leave? Well, she owes 80,000 on it, and they've only offered her 57,000. So she'd be in the hole. So I understand why she doesn't want to sell under those conditions. But it got cold and the pipe burst because there was no heat in the house. So did you not pay a bill? How were you paying for yourself prior to all of this? And then my other question is this. Your car has to be worked on. And she's very upset with mechanics around the city and what she feels about how they've done. What did you do with the cats? Did they live in the car while they were trying to fix it? Like, it's so weird to me. And then she talks about getting a job but not being able to lift 1,000-pound box. That's the only job that exists? And I don't know anybody that can lift 1,000-pound box. The strongest man in the world can't lift 1,000-pound box over and over and over again. What are you talking about? One of the other problems is she thinks she's the smartest person in the room. That is never going to work out. Because I promise there's somebody smarter than you. Right, Sabuki? Now she says that when she gets help, she can fix the plumbing in her house. Well, you might be able to fix it, but you have to have an inspector come in and approve it. Those are two different things, my dear. And that it has to be up to current code, not the code when the piping went in. So first she has to fix that. Wait, let me see all the stuff she has to fix. Wait. So the plumbing needs repairs. There's a problem with the foundation because it's uninhabitable. That's why she's not in the house. Yes, she's still making house payments. There's a problem with the foundation. And she'll need to remodel the kitchen as well in order to sell it. Yes, she says that a neighbor threatened her and that the police did nothing. She's so afraid, but she sits out in front of the house in the car. The whole situation is weird. Well, she would be in about 20 something thousand dollars worth of debt. So that's why she doesn't want to sell. But at least you could move on with your life. My goodness. So now, since New Mexico offers free college to residents, she wants to get the money from people on TikTok to help her fix up the house so she can sell it, so she can move, get an RV, move to New Mexico, and go to college for free. That's the plan. I'll wait. I'll sit here and wait and watch and see how this goes down because your attitude is so nasty. Who is going to help you? Who's going to help you? Right, Nunya. Listen. Silver Swifty. And she's like, I'm not going to do this without the help. Well, honey, if you're going to sit in your car with your cats waiting for the help and that you're not going to make any other moves, you might have to take the loss. You might have to take the loss. Because even if she were to get someone to give her the money to get it fixed, that's thousands of dollars. A new kitchen, fixing the foundation. We're not talking about a paint job, some new lighting, and updated appliances. The foundation, girl, you better apply to some HGTV places. You better you better hope that they pick you up on H. You in California, so maybe they'll pick it up. Yeah, because she thinks she can do the work herself. You can't. She admitted she can't fix the foundation, but even if she can fix the plumbing before she can close the walls, and she has leaks, it busted in 3 different places. Inspectors are gonna have to come in. And probably when they popped, she had to call the fire department. The fire department came over, and then an inspector said it's unlivable. There's no heat, no water. That is unlivable. She can't go inside. Nunya, that's her plan. YouTube University. That's how she learned how to fix her brakes. You think correct, Sabuki. Correct. But she is $23,000 based on that initial offer in the hole. And I don't see how, and this is the thing, the longer a house is unlived in, the more it breaks down. So I do not know how she gets herself out of this situation. But sitting on TikTok morning, noon, and night and complaining isn't going to fix it. It's just not. Wait, I'm sorry. I have a correction, and I did a little video about it. Let me be clear. Lo was in her live laying down like she couldn't turn her head left to right, as usual. And she starts to complain about how people talk about her, but nobody will have a conversation with her and tell her what they think. Girl, do not threaten me with a good time. I went in there so freaking fast as digital on my real account and said, I'd love to come in your box and have a chat. I would love to. You're not getting in the box. Well, why not? You say that you wanna hear why people have a problem and what we think. I'm here. I'm here. So of course she blocked me. And I went back in and said blocking me is futile. Like what? And they blocked me again. The funny thing is that you think that me getting in your box at 37 people has a bigger impact than me myself going live and talking about you? Let's see which one has the bigger impact. I'll wait. But anyway, I reached out to one of her mods to explain because I want somebody to know. And I talk about how one of the reasons why she doesn't want to be in a box with me is because when she came into MLA Red's live and took a box, she talked herself into exposing the fact that her and her worker were committing Medicaid, Medicare fraud. And if you're unaware, let me explain. So she was given 25 35 hours a week of care. I think initially it was 25. The worker, who also happens to own the company, was giving her 10 hours a week. And Lo was saying, and I understand she can't do more because she has small children. But you sign her work order either every day or every week. And you've gone back to the state to say that you need 35 hours of care. But you're not even getting the 25 you were promised. And if the person who is giving you the owner of the company, why isn't she sending somebody else to do the other 15 hours? That's fraud. To let the owner of the company get paid for 25 hours and she's only giving you 10. Now, you told us that. We didn't go investigate. We don't have somebody sitting outside of your house trying to determine how many hours you have care. But the people in her box, the people in her live, she's told this to multiple times. I know, Sabuki. She's malingering. And I went over that before, what that is. Go back and check out those lives. It was a few lives ago, what malingering is. So I wanted her mod to know. And I say, load this and that, but I got her number. Meaning that I know exactly what she's doing. She's pretending for y'all, but I see who she is. Now, Lo was talking to a mod that she unmodded because she claims a mod is a fake mod. And the mod is in there like, I got 22 years as a cop. I got this, I got that. I can stop people. And then Lo says, yeah, and that digital detective girl, get my name right. But okay, that digital detective says she has my number. And she's like, they're going too far. I have kids. Girl, what is your number going to do for me? Southern Rose, what is it? Crying Wolf? What do I need your telephone number for? I have never had, sought, asked for anybody's telephone number. Ask the mods if I have their telephone number. Guess where we talk on Instagram? I don't have anybody's telephone number. I don't ask for anybody's telephone number. Not even the people closest to me. So why would I want yours? I have never asked for, sought, nothing. I don't look for anybody's address. Where I might know the city and the state. And 95% of the time, that comes from them opening their mouth. Oh, I'm in Minnesota. Oh, I'm in Florida. Oh, I'm in Tennessee. Oh, I'm in Michigan. Like, it's what they say. It's not anything that anybody's gone and looked for. And the other 5% of the time, I've been in another live and the person hosting the live or somebody in the box has said it. I don't go seeking it out though. Your phone number? Lo, you might not understand, but I'm a woman of class and respect, and I follow the law. As I've said before, I've been in handcuffs, but not with the police. So why would I do anything to risk my freedom by illegally getting anything about anybody and then using it to harass or dox or be inappropriate in any way, shape, or form? Do you want to know how I know your entire name, Laura? Lauren, Laura, whatever it is, I don't even know it, is because you put it on your spot me. I thought your name was Alosheva. Straight up. That's the only reason. I don't go seek the information. I talk about what you do and say on social media. And if something is public record, and the most that I do with that is an arrest record. So you can try to set whatever narrative you want with the 25 people in your life and try to make people believe that I have your actual telephone number and I'm going to do something with it. I have never, will never do that. I don't dox. And I don't call anybody. I don't send anything to anybody's address. I don't do anything to anybody that I wouldn't want somebody to do to me. Yeah, she comes around, Nicole, every now and then, but nobody cares. I've been in the box with her, and she got rocked. That's why she won't get in the box with me again. No, girl, they weren't fuzzy handcuffs. They were straight handcuffs. Straight handcuffs, but just not with a police officer. Anyway, I've never even been in the back of a cop car. So, for anybody looking to dox me, let me assure you, there won't be an arrest record. Safe word, yeah, girl. There won't be an arrest record to look for me. You won't ever find that. Yeah. I'm spicy digital in more ways than one. Who's that? Oh, I just wanted to show y'all this. Isn't this cute? They did this for my granddaughter's birthday because she likes tacos. She turned 2. I thought that was adorable. This is Money Bees, y'all. Normally, it's a photo of her refrigerator, an empty refrigerator. And someone asked to see her cabinets, and she showed a few, and they were empty. This is my problem with Money Bees, though. Money Bees, you told us some days ago that you were going to get your food stamps on the 15th. It's the 21st. Why are you still showing a refrigerator? And again, I know that you listen to me because when I said a child who's hungry doesn't sit in their room being quiet, the next thing I know, your daughter's in the phone. Mommy, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. Mommy, I'm hungry. Girl, bye. That is so performative. It is so performative. And then her daughter was like, why don't we go to the store and sell water? Well, we don't have any water. So you don't have any water in your house at all? The sink don't work. Your water bill's not paid. But then the daughter was like, why don't we freeze milk and sell it? I'm dead. I'm dead. Then she said, I'm not sending my kids to school hungry. They could get breakfast and lunch, but you're not sending them to school hungry? What? So then that changed. Good morning, Squish. Loved your video, by the way. Then, now the kids are going to school. So yesterday evening, she was looking for $15, even though she got her food stamps on the 15th. And she said, I just want to get my kids top ramen and bread because I have peanut butter. Where did peanut butter come from? But top ramen and a loaf of bread don't cost $15. And again, because she ran her mouth, she said, I'm willing, if you have canned food or anything, or if you want to bring me food, I live in Savannah, Georgia. Well, thanks. Now we know. Yeah, that's what she used to do when she was Peaches, when she was Queen Peaches, that was her payment app. She used to do a TikTok Find Love live. Well, that didn't work out for her. She could be a midnight. I love that, a midnight ballerina. And then at one point she said, telling me to get a job isn't going to help. I already know I need a job. Well, if you know you need a job, how are you on live morning, noon, and night instead of looking for a job? How about you get off TikTok trying to lie saying your children haven't eaten for days when they go to school? So then she says on live with the daughter, did you eat lunch at school today? And the daughter's like, no. And she's like, well, I signed you up for free lunch, so they were supposed to give you lunch today. What? They send that paperwork home week one of school. What do you mean? You just signed her up. So you mean to tell me your daughter's been hungry and you just signed her up for free lunch? Then she said, so then the daughter says that they gave her breakfast, that she was able to pick bread, any jam she wanted, and fruit, and there was meat. And they debated whether it was bologna or ham. So she got breakfast but not lunch? But then says to her daughter, bring home anything they give you for lunch, even if you don't like it, because then I could freeze it. You gonna freeze school lunch? Then to take it even further, she said, I'm going to give you a bowl to put it in so you could bring it home. Girl, your cabinets is empty. What bowl where? Bowl what? Because your cabinets that you showed us were empty. She's pregnant. Oh, God. I swear, like they write it for me. I don't have to make up anything. They write the story for me. All I got to do is tell y'all and tell it in a way that lets you know that either it's complete BS or they're playing. They don't have a care in the world. They think TikTok is their personal ATM. You can't feed the kids you have and you're pregnant? Where the baby daddy? Right, berries? And then they always go to, what did you want me to have an abortion? No, I wanted you to not get pregnant in the first place. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to be a responsible human being. That if you already have children you can't feed, why have more? And then they'll be like, well, I can't take birth control and I can't do this. And he doesn't like condoms. Then be celibate. If you have every excuse why none of the options work, then be celibate. Zim likes to use that one. I can't help that God bless me. Yes, you could. And of course, because a couple of people told her that they had a problem after they had her tubes tied, she decided not to get hers tied. 6 kids in? Mommy. So I guess we're going to start seeing bowls of school lunch in the refrigerator. I'm expecting one today because she's supposed to get free lunch. We'll hear what Money B says. But how is it that they get food at school, but they haven't eaten in 4 days? Make it make sense. Okay, Queen. Let me tell you something about Black Mamba. The only time he is nice and humble is when he's afraid he's not going to get the money. Any other time, that attitude is literally emanating, it's coming out of his pores. Everybody's seen the video where he told people that if they're not giving money, they need to shut up. And he tried to put that off on trolls, that he was talking to the trolls. Sir, I have watched you tell people that you didn't care if they've given you money in the past, if they weren't there to help you then, to get out of your life. That's the trolls? That's not the trolls. Those are people who have given you money in the past. And you told them if they weren't there to give you money this time, to get out of your life. So what's that excuse? What's that reason? And he talks about how he's not a scammer because he shows proof. If he asks for hotel money, he shows paying for the hotel. You do. But the problem is that your attitude is the reason why you feel like you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. And when it doesn't work out for you, TikTok is supposed to fix it. That's my problem. When he's like, they call me a scammer, but they're not willing to come in here and tell me why. I'm telling you why. And what I call you, when I say you're a scammer, you are on the scammer spectrum. You're manipulative, you lie, you beg, you demand, you're nasty. And what I mean by that is nasty to people. Your attitude is nasty. But even more importantly, yes, you pay for the hotel room. Yes, you buy food, but you also buy smoke and drink. Now, you want to say you're adult, you want to be able to do what you want to do, you are 100% correct. But smoke and alcohol are not a requirement of living. So instead of spending the $5, $6, $7, $10, $25 for a vape and smoke and alcohol, why don't you put that money aside for when you need it for the hotel room? Or you need it the next day for food? Shout out to cakes. And people are like, people expect like you're not supposed to live life. Not when you're living on somebody else's dime, you're not. You're supposed to be responsible with those funds. And if you aren't even being responsible with the funds that are being given to you for a specific purpose. Sorry, Kira's dreaming. I've never heard her do this. Sounds like she's crying, but she's asleep. Anyway, sorry. Threw me off. No, that was Kira. She was like, I've never heard her do that before. Yeah, she had to put, maybe she's telling me I'm being too loud. It won't be the first time. She did sound like a puppy. I've never heard her like that before, but she's asleep. White Sox kind of runs in his sleep. It's funny. Yeah, she's probably dreaming. So I'm sorry. If you're not going to be financially responsible with the money given, why should people keep giving you money? So he went on an interview with no way to get back. I'm sorry. No money for the hotel room. And he's sitting there and he's like, I've been here for hours. He's another one. Tears on demand. I've been sitting here for hours and I can't believe today is the day that nobody's going to help me. And he's so soft spoken and this is all I need and please help me. Where was all your stuff? Did you go to the interview with all your stuff? Where was all your stuff? He never once said my stuff got put outside because I didn't. Where's your stuff? Yep, puppy. It's in the other room. Do you see how quickly they can make themselves seem so sad and pathetic? And when people aren't paying attention, it all seems legit. Yeah, you might have paid for a hotel room, but probably not for tonight's. Maybe tomorrow night's. Where's your stuff? What they expect is for people not to be paying attention. Soon as he got the money, tears dried up, he's off, and somehow he was able to buy food. And he was able to walk from the interview to get the food and then got an Uber back to the hotel. So you didn't just get the hotel covered, you got an Uber covered and food at the grocery store. Well, I know he has EBT. But this is the same man that a month ago lost two jobs. And ever since he lost those two jobs, he's been on TikTok begging every single day. A month ago. And how did he lose those two jobs? Failing to go. Failing to go. Y'all, my kids is over here doing the absolute most. Two jobs he lost for not being present on time or going. And his very first reaction was to come back. Let's be clear about something. We are talking about homeless long haulers. We're not talking about people who fell into a dip and they've been here a couple of months. They got a job. No, we're talking about long haulers who feel like it's other people's responsibility. And they'll be like, we're not asking you if you can help. Yeah. Okay. And then I can't even remember who the scammer was. Oh no, it was Cakes. Excuse me. How could I forget? Wait, let me pull up her picture because I don't like to talk about people without their picture being present. Let's see. Let me find her. Cakes. The other day, somebody said, but sometimes it'll be somebody's last. She was like, ain't nobody giving their last. Girl, we see it all the time. I only have $2. I have $3. I have $1.50. Do you want it? Blah, blah, blah. And then she says, and if they give me their last, they're stupid. So I just want you to understand how they feel about you sacrificing for them. If you give her your last, you're stupid. So if it's your last $5 and you feel like she could use it more than you can, don't send it because you'd be stupid. That's how they all feel, by the way. Kiki's Mod, when I was going live initially, came in to ask why I was talking about Kiki. And when I talked about all of the problems with people giving her money, her response was, well, if they give them her money and they know, then they're stupid. It is not the first, second, or third time I've heard a scammer or their supporter call the people who give them money stupid. Because best believe the people modding and telling you to give a dollar or two aren't giving. They're promoting it so you give. They're not giving. Half the time they're in the same boat. They're just looking to gather a following so they can go live and beg. And Josh and Ida is back. I'm battling. The beg is coming. Watch and see. This morning she says she don't want gifts no more. Just send money to her directly. Exactly, because they don't want to share it with TikTok. See, Cake needs a hotel room and to eat. But Cake is like, I don't want to have to go outside in the cold. But every time you're outside in the cold, none of your stuff is with you. None of the stuff is with you. So, and we saw one night where they literally put people's stuff outside. So why Cake stuff ain't never outside, but she's outside? It's manipulation to make you think that she's actually put out. But whenever it's time for her to go pay, she don't never show that. But she got alcohol. Oh Lord, White Sox is snoring. Jesus. He had a hard morning, y'all. He worked hard this morning chasing Kira and talking junk. So your co-host is taking a nap and he's snoring. I guess he said he wanted to do what Angela do. Mad last night, she got busted begging for a hotel, but neighbor knocked on the door of the apartment. Let me just tell you something, TikTok president. What the other night, somebody knocked on the door and she came back and was like, see, I told you they was gonna knock. Let me just tell you something. When a hotel is knocking on the door, they're not doing it at 4:30, 5:30, 7:30 at night. You got until a certain, it's not that late. But the other thing is she is always in the same room. If you was getting kicked out every night because you didn't have the money, how come you're always in the same room? She is somebody who I think has a voucher. She's somebody who I think has a voucher who just begs for money, if I'm being honest. Excuse me. So, this the same one who claims she don't know nothing about getting Medicaid. And she's what, 37 years old? Be for real. The first thing you do when you think about being medically deficient to the point where you think you deserve Social Security, you're on Medicaid. That's the first thing you do. And if she has EBT, you want me to believe she doesn't have Medicaid? Listen, she's lived a rough life. She claims she used to have money. She considers her downfall her girlfriend passing last Christmas. But that attitude, just like Faye Faye, is piss poor. Give her money and don't ask her any questions. I'm sorry, give her your money and don't ask her any questions. She upped her GoFundMe, but don't bring it up. Because who cares about a GoFundMe? You do. You keep upping the amount by $1,000. What does she need that $1,000 for if people are paying for her room every day and giving her money for food? Well, we caught a couple of people that used to give her money in here on Friday. And when we showed the proof about her, oh, wait, we have another one in here promising? What did promising say? Can somebody find it for me? Oh, Faith has a crush on you. Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about Kate. We had a couple of people here on Friday who learned a few things about cake. Always alcohol. And why would you, yes, Veronica, why would you give her alcohol knowing her conditions? For A, she's a diabetic. Alcohol and diabetes don't go together. Second of all, she has lymphedema. Alcohol and lymphedema don't go together. And let's be honest, nothing goes together with crack but a crackhead. So we're going to leave that there. But y'all know she's ill, and yet you are buying her alcohol. You are giving her money, telling her to buy alcohol. Y'all are not. That's how. Are you her friend for real? Well, if you smoke crack, what am I supposed to call you? Now, I watched you smoke crack on a live. Dummy. We need you to stand on. Either I'm a preacher or a comedian. Who knows? Or I'm a hater that's jealous. Be for real. Goodness, today was way more than 9. I haven't even gotten through the people on here. Let's see. We did her. We did her. Oh! Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Back again. I don't even know what song that is. I just know that verse. Oh, that's Eminem. What am I talking about? Guess who's back? Back again. The one and only Pookie. Really? Hilarious. Pookie is back with this account. The one and only Pookie. Let's see, what did Pookie want? Pookie wanted $25. Now, it started off with she wants $25 to her chime. And again, the reason why I know that her name is Shona, because that is her chime. Shona Owens. That is her chime name. According to her bio, she's looking for friends who can be her TikTok family. You mean a TikTok family that gives you money every day? Because what you find is that a lot of TikTokers who get money on this app, whether it be through gifts, donations, begging, whatever, they call them their family. They're trying to create a familiarity so that I give to you and you support me back by giving me money. That we're family, right? So she said she needed $25 because she needed to pick up a prescription. And see, what I love is people who ask questions because you know I'm a question asker. Well, what do you have? Oh, strep. Mind you, don't sound sick at all. And there's somebody, Scam Slam brought our attention to somebody named Joe Everybody. Y'all check him out. He's definitely a scammer. His name is, I'm sorry, Joe Anybody. Richard Lawson. Kate, define genuinely needed. And what big creators are you discussing? You can't just throw out two things that mean absolutely nothing because it could be anybody. Would you like a box? And then you can explain to me who are the big creators and who are the people in need. You are welcome to a box to explain it to me. Because you can't just throw out a comment like that, expect a response without defining what you mean. That's just like me saying, I wish somebody would send me $1 million and put it in my bank account. What does that, who's the somebody? I'm genuinely in need of $1 million. Kate, can you make that happen? Do you know somebody that could make that happen for me? Because I'm really in need of that. Well, Kate, you threw it out there. You expect to come in the chat and throw something out there and it not get addressed? What are you asking is my question. What were you asking? Oh, don't worry, Carol. Let me get there. I'm just addressing Kate at the moment. If you are new and you don't have a clue who I'm talking about and why did you make the assumption that I'm talking about people who aren't in need, who are actually in need? Oh, Erica, take it down. Okay, Kate. I'm gonna do to you what I did to somebody else since you consider um cake in need. Let me show you something. I just did this on Friday. This is cake. This is cake. Y'all don't go back and forth with Kate. Let me talk to Kate. This is cake. Cake likes to tell people that this is about her broken foot. As you can see, that swelling that has gone all the way up to her hip is not the result of a broken foot. She has something called lymphedema. Let me show you. She has stage 4 lymphedema. Okay? It is not the result of a broken foot. Cake also is a diabetic. Why is she smoking crack, drinking alcohol with the conditions that she has? That's A. B, the reason why she can't get disability for her leg is because she's not doing anything about it. Her lymphedema is treatable. She sits on live, she gets EBT, but then claims she doesn't have Medicaid. So y'all had to give her money for an Uber there and back, a copay at the doctor. She has Medicaid. So why are y'all giving her money for things she doesn't need money for? And once you lie, once you manipulate, I'm supposed to believe the rest of what you're talking about? And if y'all cared about her as much as you say you care about her, why are y'all providing her alcohol? Correct. Medicaid will bring you and pick you up. Why is it if she's in need, she never shows y'all when she pays for that hotel room? She never shows y'all a receipt that the hotel room got paid for. Never. Why did she up her GoFundMe by $1,000? But when anybody asks about her GoFundMe, you get muted and blocked. She made a video about her GoFundMe and then told people, who cares about a GoFundMe? You can only get disability when you are actively going to the doctor getting your health checked. You have to have medical documentation. You know why she doesn't have it? Because the doctors have told her what she needs to do and she won't do it. And you want to know why, Kate? She won't do it because her leg is her moneymaker. Why does she turn the camera around and let you watch her foot? Why? It's her moneymaker. It's what she used to stand on the corner for money. And now she uses it on TikTok. We have somebody in here that has stage 4 lymphedema that goes to work every single day because her lymphedema is treated. And you can't get lymphedema from a broken foot. Now, I'm not saying her foot didn't break. Her foot might break. But that doesn't have anything to do with the lymphedema. But if y'all care about her, why are y'all going along with the negative things that she does? I'm not a hater. If she let me in her box, I tell her exactly what I think. And I keep it a buck. I have empathy for anybody that has any illness, especially somebody with lymphedema and a diabetic. But if I see you smoke crack, I'm not going to pretend that I didn't see it. I'm not going to tell you that as an adult, you can do whatever you want to do. And if you wanted to smoke crack, that's your business. I'm sorry. I wasn't raised to act like everything everybody does is okay. Especially not if I'm going to say I care about you. If she needs the money for the room every day, why isn't her stuff outside? Tell me. She goes out, she tells y'all it's too cold for her to be outside. She needs the money for the room. When the person she said came and knocked on the door, they didn't say a single word about her owing money. And then she came around the corner and was like, see, I told y'all they was going to knock. They didn't, there wasn't somebody from the hotel or whatever that building is that she lives in. No, she is not getting treatment for her leg. She says it's just a broken foot. Let me show you all of her so you guys can understand. It's not just a broken foot. I don't just get up here and talk about people for no reason. I'm not a hater. I'm not a troll. There are other people on here who ask for money that never make it to my list. And I don't watch people one time and put them up here. And I don't let anybody else tell me who to put and who not to put. But I'm not going to allow somebody to lie to the community and get away with it. I'm not. There are real people in this world that need help. There are children who need help. There are mothers that need help. And yet you're giving your money to someone who pretends to need the help that she won't take. But she's going to take your hard-earned money and drink with it? Smoke with it? Ask her for a receipt. No, it's not Photoshopped. This is off her page. Sheila, keep fighting. Because I'm going to tell you something. Social Security denies 75% of first claims off the rip. Keep fighting. But in her case, they're going to ask, when's the last time you've been to the doctor? ER visits don't count. She says all the ER does is give her water pills. The lymphedema is why. It is extra fluid that your body is not draining through the lymphatic system. But that's not going to fix lymphedema. You have to go to a specialist. I did an entire diatribe about how you deal with lymphedema. And it's damn sure not standing on it all day. It's supposed to be, yes, it can be drained, but it has to be wrapped. You have to go to a specialist. There's actually a thing that you can put your leg in that applies pressure, not painful, that will help the leg drain. It's supposed to be in a wrap all day, every day. No, it's not that painful. But if you're not doing it, if you're not actually taking care of it, it will not get better. She's mad at her doctor for not checking. She kept saying my A1C. If you're a diabetic, you can get a free meter and strips. And on Medicaid, she don't got to pay a dime. She could test her own. But what did she say? My numbers are always normal. How? With the way you eat, the way you drink, your numbers are always normal? Even she says she gained 20 pounds from drinking alcohol. You know how much alcohol you got to drink to gain 20 pounds on alcohol? Good morning, everyone. I mean, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everybody who's come in. Of course, she doesn't check it. And then she finally goes to the doctor and she's mad at the stuff the doctor didn't do. I was in healthcare for many years. I told you, as a new patient, they're there to get to know you, to find out if you have anything emerging that requires their attention immediately. And then they set you up with blood work and a follow up. And in her case, she got a referral. And on Medicaid, you often need a referral. And you have to go to a doctor that accepts Medicaid. And what did she come back to y'all and say? Oh, the doctor she sent me to probably won't take me. Really? So when you come in here and you say somebody's really in need, ask me and I'll tell you why they're on the list. I don't pick on people. I don't just find somebody and choose them. Do you know how many people are on TikTok asking for money? Of course, Heather. Correct, Schindler. If I don't want to stop smoking crack, I don't want my blood work done. Right, Chief. Thousands of people are on TikTok asking for money. Not all of them make it to the list. I'm selective because I actually watch and listen for myself. Yes, people will say, go look at this person. Do you know how many people have told me to go look at somebody that never make the list? And some people are scammers and they still don't make my list. But as long as people are giving her money so that she doesn't have to do anything else, do you think she's going to stop? Tayana, stick around. I go live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And just for the record, for anybody who may be new, this is today's list. I probably talked about 12 people today, but this was today's list. The list changes every day. Some people are on repeat and some people come and go. I don't pick on any one person. I don't pick on anybody. I watch, I listen, I report. And then I offer my opinion about why they are on the list. I don't just say, oh, there's Pookie. And I also put their name and their at so you can go look for yourself and see if what I say is true. Somebody go ask um Cake for a receipt. Oh, thank you, love and light. I appreciate you saying so. I'm not the only one, but I do it my way. I do it differently than most. That's the list. Kate is still here. Well, good. Stick around, Kate, because I want you to hear another one. Oh, no, that's Auntie Reefa. Hold on. Let's talk Nika Bell. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a history lesson because I know some people don't know who she is. Let's do Nika Bell real quick. Nika Bell has been asking for money on TikTok for years. Working, married, single, asking for money for years. Okay? She is back to begging. Her husband passed away last August. Rest in peace to him. I have also been a widow. People who've been here around know that. So I have a special place in my heart for widows. I know what it feels like to be one. So when I came across her again, not when I first, I had an immense amount of empathy. And she was asking for her hotel room to be paid. She didn't make it on the list. She didn't make it on the list. I had a great amount of empathy for her. She's been getting hotel rooms paid for months. Food, you name it. She then has had people pay for her car repairs. She made this whole big deal about going to Fayetteville to live with her aunt. She had a job. The next thing I know, she pops up a week or so ago at a train station with all her stuff in bags, talking about her cousin came to her mother's house, the aunt Nika was staying with, and put Nika out and said that her mother was in any sort of physical or mental condition to give Nika permission to come live with her. Nika got people to give her money for a train ticket to leave Fayetteville. And she said she was going to a shelter, that she found a shelter that was going to take her. Guess what happened? Nika popped back up on a Sunday at church. Why go live from church? I'll never understand, but okay. And then on Monday morning, she popped up live again. Guess where Nika was? In her house. Nika was in her own house. Why have people been paying for you to stay in hotels for months and you have your own house to live in? And this was her story. Her story was that she didn't know her house was still there and paid for, that her husband had some plan through his employer that was going to pay the bills for a year. For a year. So when people were dragging the cousin, why would the cousin put you out? Maybe because she had her own home to go to? By the way, I looked it up. There's no employer plan that's going to pay for a house for a year. And not only did it pay for the house, it paid the electricity, the water, the cable, the internet, but she claimed she had no idea. And then I looked it up. There, you can create a trust where a company like a law firm will pay all the bills. The beneficiary is the person, but the trust is responsible for the money. But she tried to say that happened through an employer. But if he had that for her, why he didn't have no life insurance? Why did his family have to pay for his funeral? So you mean to tell me he made sure your bills were paid for a year but didn't have money for his own funeral? And furthermore, you want me to believe that she just found out this in January and he passed away in August? And now she claims all the bills are paid for the next 5 months, but she doesn't want to wait the next 5 months. So she went and got a job as a home health aide. But she needed your money for a bus pass to get back and forth to work. She wanted it for the whole month. Then it was get it for a week. And then it was, well, if somebody can give me enough to get to my interview. Immediately she has a job as a home health aide. Okay. So now she needs the bus ticket to get back and forth. Okay. Then it was all the food is freezer burned. Well, you were sure in there cooking it and eating it and having coffee and everything else. Where did all of that come from? Mind you, let's go back to the house that she claimed she didn't know about. All her jewelry was there. Her medication was there. So you mean from August to January you weren't taking any medication? And she don't have like a little blood pressure. She has multiple medications. It's not a landlord. It's her house. It's her house. Because I thought the same thing. So, okay. Then it was all the food in the house is freezer burned. I need food. Now she's got the job. She started Monday. What was she begging for on Tuesday? Her phone bill to get paid. Why does she need her phone bill paid? Because she has to log in, say that she's there. She has to log out on the app and the client has to sign it. But the client doesn't have Wi-Fi. Now, I know we've gone technology, right? Everything is technology. But my question is, the company doesn't have a redundancy? Y'all all know that the other day, most cell phones had an issue, right? Verizon, I believe, had the biggest. The entire Northeast was out and eventually came down here. And my phone started having problems. And I have T-Mobile. You mean to tell me the company doesn't have a redundancy in case all the towers go out? There's no other way for you to do it. KK, if I'm wasting my breath, 428 people don't think I'm wasting my breath. You wasted the time coming in here making that comment, though. I promise you that. I promise you that. Because I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And my numbers are pretty consistent. So you may think it's a waste, but what is it? 429 people don't. And if you think it's a waste, you can be my guest and walk out the door. It's that simple. But when did we become a people who feel like it is okay for other people to manipulate people out of their money? It's one thing to be like, let them live. Cool, go live. But if I sit here and I watch you take advantage of other people, I was raised, see something, say something. And if I'm going to call out anybody, it's going to be the people who look like me. Because we're better than this. KK, the great thing about not needing to know where I work is that I'm not on here begging for money. That's the beautiful thing. I'm not on here asking you to pay my bills. So where I work doesn't matter. Ask them where they work. They're asking for your money, not me. Good morning, calling BS. That's so weird to me. All my bills are paid. Shauna, I know you did. Everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, most people are helping out of love. And I'm glad you got through childbirth. It is not safe in America for a black woman to be in childbirth in this day and age of 2026. And I don't even know if you're black. But childbirth is not a guarantee anymore. But you got to understand this. You only know what they tell you. You don't know what you don't know. So if they tell you they don't have Medicaid, what do you have to go on other than they told you they don't have it? But what if you knew that they did? How would you feel if you gave money to somebody because they said they needed an Uber to get to the doctor and then you find out Medicaid would have gave them a ride? What if, out of the kindness of your heart, you think you're helping a widow because she has nowhere to go? So you're keeping her in a hotel room, sending her money for food, paying her cell phone bill, just to find out a couple months later she owns her own home and could have been there. And how do I know? Her jewelry was there, her medication was there, the pillow that the funeral home gave her for her husband's passing was in that home. Now, her husband was buried in North Carolina. Her house isn't in North Carolina. So how did she get the pillow back to her home if she never went back there? If she didn't know the place existed? Come on now. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be honest. Let's be intellectually honest. If you know it and you want to still give your money, I'm not talking to you. You know all the details. You know they lie. You know they manipulate. Then fine. If you want to give your money after that, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who think that they are legitimately helping somebody who doesn't have any other options and saying, just so you know, imagine all the people that gave her money for months just for her to show up in her own home and pretend like she didn't know it was there. She pretend she has Wi-Fi in her home but doesn't have her cell phone bill paid. Help me understand. For months, people paid for her to be from August to January. People were paying her to be in hotel rooms and to feed her. People dragged her cousin because she got put out of the house just for her to go home. Shauna, did you see the live where she smoked crack? Because I did. Let me go find the photo. I don't even know if it's in my phone anymore. Let's see. I got to go back far. I'm back. This was the wide shot. And what you might not understand is she got in a car, put the phone down, not realizing that the reflection from the window would be seen in the phone. So this is a reflection. But you see that little light up? That happened about 5 separate times. You don't need to do that if you're smoking some bud or a cigarette. But let me show it up closer. And then what was crazy was the people in the chat, I mean, people in the boxes were like, somebody was like, is that crack? Is she smoking crack? Oh, it's not, that's not a torch, baby. That's just a blown up image of the pipe. Or methany. It could have been methany. But then the people in the boxes and in the chat were like, if she's smoking crack, that's her business. What? When did we become that permissive? And if that you want your money to go for that? Now if you do, be my guest. They weren't trolling. Because when she finished, she gonna say, I don't even know what crack looked like. Girl, you don't know what crack looked like? Hi, Maggie. You're not on the grid today. Go away. I saw you got your account back. Good for you. I don't know why you in here. Skip along, my dear. Yes, Auntie. She self-admitted that it's not the best neighborhood. So what you mean you don't even know what crack looked like? Be for real. And then what was funny was the person in the box was like, it's white and hard. Like, this is a joke. If y'all cared about her, why are y'all so permissive? She gets the money for the hotel room and logs off and says, when I get to the room, I'll call you back. If she was getting kicked out every day, where is her stuff? The only thing she has with her is the roller for her leg. If you had a cousin that you knew was smoking crack, would you give her your money? That just asking for a friend. Or would you say, I'm not giving her money because she got to get her life together? So why would you give it to a stranger on the internet? If you had a family member that refused to get health care so that they could get better, so that then they could go get a job, would you take your hard-earned money and take care of them? Or would you say to them, you know what, you need to go to the doctor, you need to get your leg wrapped, you need to get the lymphedema under control, then you can walk just fine and get a job and get your life in order? Or would you just give them your money that you went to work for? It amazes me that people won't do something for their family member, but they'll do it for a stranger on TikTok because the story sounds good. And again, I don't know who's in here who hasn't seen all of Cake, but Cake's leg is not just her foot. It's her entire leg. It's not just her foot. It is her entire leg. And in fact, this is an older picture. The video where she's standing on the street corner begging for money, the other leg is big as well. It's starting to swell. It's just not as big as the other leg. Correct. They could put a pump on it. They need to wrap it. Now, again, I'm not saying that she didn't break her foot. Her foot may, in fact, have been broken, but that is not what is wrong with her leg. A broken foot doesn't cause your entire leg to swell. Correct. Why would she want to fix it? It's her moneymaker. Why do you think that she'll turn the camera around and let you just see her foot? And for people who are new here, let me show you this. Dang it. I gotta find it. Know what? I'm not gonna find it. I'm gonna just download it. I'm sorry if you can't see the comments, but let me show you this. I created this myself. I call this the spectrum of scamming. At the bottom is white lies and then omissions of the truth, where they just leave stuff out like, I have lymphedema. Then there's dry begging, where they talk about, guys, I'm not going to be able to keep my job unless I keep my cell phone on because I need it to be able to let them know that I'm at work and that I did the hours and blah, blah, blah. That's dry begging. Straightforward begging is cake. I need money for my room. I need money for food. She'll be like, I don't care about food. I just need money for the room. Except her stuff is never outside. Remember not too long ago where they literally put people's stuff outside and the police was there evicting people? She wasn't evicted, but she was still asking for your money. Then there's manipulative lying. That's where you show your leg and your foot as the excuse for why you can't get a job. Did she go to the referral? Did she even make the appointment at the referral? But she wants y'all to believe she doesn't have Medicaid. How did she get the roller? That's medical equipment. How did she get the roller that she rolls around on if she doesn't have insurance? She certainly didn't have the money to buy it. That's a couple $100. Where'd she get it? And then there's the scamming where they tell you they need the money for the hotel room, but they use it for something else. Scamming on TikTok is a spectrum. On social media, period. It is a spectrum. So when I use the word scam, I'm not saying that they asked for money for food and they didn't buy the food. I'm talking about the spectrum. So when I have Nika Bell sit here and say she needed a hotel room for 4 months, but now suddenly her house is being paid for the next 5, but she didn't know about the last 4 from August to January. Yeah, when you look at me and like, I need my cell phone paid, boo. Yeah, no. And wait a minute. All your other bills got paid, but not the cell phone bill? Huh? If your man made sure that everything was paid down to the cable and the internet, he didn't add your cell phone bill to the list? The one way you would be able to communicate with the world? He forgot your cell phone bill? And see, people want to call me a hater. I just look at things logically. What makes the most sense? And then I start investigating. Does this ring true to me? And even sometimes when something doesn't ring true and I do an investigation and I look into it, I realize, you know what? That's possible. Of course, Shauna. Of course. But I want to tell y'all what she said the other day. Somebody said some people give you their last. And she was like, no, they don't. Ain't nobody gonna give me their last. And then she said, and if they give me their last, then they're stupid. They're stupid. Now, let me explain something. Most of us have come to this community because somebody got us or somebody almost got us. So please don't feel bad that you got. They're good at what they do. They wouldn't be on here and getting money if they weren't as good as they are. And then somehow we end up here and we realize we got. And then people wonder why we go so hard because we got. And that's why we coalesce together. And that's why we try to warn other people, be careful with your money. Give it to somebody where you can see their actual eyeballs standing in front of you. Give it to an organization where you know. Go to your local school and find out if there are any children who have a balance on their lunch card and pay it off. Kendrick Lamar just did it with a bunch of schools in LA. Then you know. Give some maxi pads and tampons to a shelter. Give socks to a shelter. That's one of the things they need. Buy some hygiene products and give it to a shelter in your community. Because when you do that, then you find out that there are organizations that actually help people. Now they're short on funds. The government has taken a lot of that away. So if you want to help the people in your community. And if everybody did that, then people would be taken care of. Intrigued, I agree, but some people have a soft spot. Like I said, with Nika, the fact that her husband passed away immediately made me connect to her. These mothers who have all these children, people who are mothers, connect. It's almost 10 o'clock and I still haven't finished. No, correct, Sue. They shouldn't. This is Auntie Reefa. And no, this isn't an AI generated photo. This is from her account. Now, Auntie Reefa is a little newer to me, but she's definitely not a bolo because she is definitely on this app demanding money from people, and she always has a story. Now, one of the things Auntie does is she has more than one device. Isn't it beautiful how they all have more than one device? She has more than one device. And on one device, she has Unc on there. And Unc is her man who's locked up. I don't know for what. It doesn't matter. But she sits online and Unc is like, y'all, thank you, family, for helping helping Auntie out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Why? Because you're not doing it? Because you're not taking care of her? So you gonna sit on the phone and thank strangers? And everybody's her baby. And just the other day, she was living with somebody and got kicked out and needed their money for a hotel room. But you got time to dance around. Girl, get a job. How about you do that instead of dancing around? Talking about this is the dance I could do. While she's spending your money. Picture me dancing around when I know that my every meal got to come from somebody else. But she could walk that ass to the gas station and get some snacks. And this isn't about her size. This is about the fact that she can do whatever she wants to do except get a job. She can go live on somebody else's dime while y'all give her money. And then she gets kicked out. Ever wonder why? Why they always have a sob story? At least Maggie's like, I want to go to a concert. Always a sob story. It's from her page. She was dancing and I took a picture of her dancing because I wanted y'all to see that she's having a good time while she's spending other people's money. I'd be sitting here embarrassed, but she got time to make TikTok videos dancing in somebody else's house. Make me sick. Correct, Sapuki. She want money on her man's books? What is this? Love after lockup? Put money on his books. So not only take care of my daily needs, but take care of his daily needs too. Neither one of them can take care of the other, but they want strangers to do it. Please, somebody make that make sense to me. Beautifully broken, you are correct. They're not embarrassed anymore because people have made every lifestyle acceptable. There are people who literally go through stuff and end up homeless. Look at what happened to all the people in California in the fire. They didn't do that to themselves. The people in Texas with that rain that took all of those children from that camp and all those houses. They didn't do that to themselves. And now they crying about FEMA. Well, you voted for it. FEMA's gone. The people right here in my town that we had a tornado. They didn't ask for it. But you want to sit here and dance around so that you can get money for a hotel room and people to put money on your man's books? And Hawaii, listen, natural disaster is happening everywhere. And some of the people in California still owe and have to pay their mortgages. And there ain't no house. There's no house and they're still paying a mortgage. And gotta pay a hotel room. And a lot of them were underinsured. I'm sorry, Sapuki. Yep, a lot of places are still recovering. It's been a year, and there are still entire neighborhoods in California that are it's just the stuff is gone. It's been cleaned up of the stuff, and now it's just plot after plot. And let me tell you something: TV doesn't know justice. I went to because of what I did for work. I went to New Orleans after the hurricane, before the cleanup. There's nothing like it. And guess what? Then people were out there working hard. Look at all the people from Katrina that had to go move other places. They went and got jobs and created new lives all over the country. But you get to sit around and dance on TikTok and beg for money and not take responsibility for your own life? I've had it. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm sorry, I'm a little sick. And I didn't know I was on my backup page because I'm following you on my main page on Crystal Lagarde. But I was just literally got on here and was scrolling, and I just wanted to say this: like, I am a single mom of two boys, and I don't want sympathy from nobody. I go through a lot myself. This month was a tough month for me, and my youngest is autistic, so I had to leave my job for a few to be attentive to him and his school and whatnot. But I said that to say this: in the midst of all of that, my bills did not stop. So in the meantime and in between time, I literally door dashed every day this month to pay my rent, and my rent was paid this morning by hard work and dedication and getting up off my butt. I stayed up last night, literally till this morning, till I was down to the penny that I had to pay. So I don't see how people are that comfortable to get on here and just beg. Like, how you not getting up and trying to do like make it something shake?
I respect. Oh, I got flagged for harassment and bullying. Great. I don't care. I'm at the end of the live anyway. First of all, I want to say thank you for coming up. I don't care what account you come up on. And I am proud of you because it is hard out here.
Yes. And it was so slow last night on DoorDash, but guess what? I was catching the $3 orders. I say everything gonna add up. I wasn't thinking about the big number. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do increments of like 25, 25, and knock it off like that. But it was just me getting up off my ass is what I'm saying. Like, I could have begged, I could have used excuses. I could have said, oh, my son is autistic and I can't do XYZ. No, I'm not incapable of. I'm definitely able to do that. So I got up and I did it.
Because you were looking at your children's faces saying, I'm not going to be homeless with my children.
And like
And
when I
then they have to come to TikTok and ask for a hotel room every single day. Like that's normal. Like that's the life you want your kids to lead.
Thank you so much, Pookie. And that's what I was saying too. Like, I last night, my whole little run, I did it for 17 days. I needed $1,200 for my rent. I literally paid it today. I can show you guys the receipt. But I was just like, last night I just broke down. I was just crying. I was at my down to my last 120, and I'm like, God, I don't want to ask nobody for nothing. Like, so I'm just sitting there. I came in, I checked on my kids. I would stop in between times. So I would go from my kids to get on the bus at 7:30. I'll start at 8. They get off of the bus at 3. I'll come home, get them off the bus, fix them some lunch. I'll go back out from like 4 to 8. I'll come back in at 8, fix them their dinner, bath them, put them in the bed, iron their school clothes, and I'm going back out from 8 until I get exhausted. Like, I'm talking about exhausted. And so I
Mm-hmm.
come in and I'll check my kids, and my babies are just so sound asleep in their bed. Like, I only have two boys, and they're content. And we've been in our spot a long time, so I would hate to have made them uncomfortable. But just coming in here and seeing them comfortably sleep in their bed, I'm like, nah, I gotta keep going. So I go back out, go back out. It's like I couldn't rest until I knew for sure that it was secure.
Right. And I saw somebody say, God got you. That is somebody
Yeah.
working so that God gives them something to bless. This begging thing, I say this all the time. The devil blesses too. And that's not a blessing from God that allows you to sit on your ass every single day and do absolute. They don't even do anything on TikTok for entertainment purposes to even earn the money. They sit there and stare at the screen and complain about their life every day. They do nothing different.
And I mean, God says as well, He definitely is gonna bless us, but we have to do the work. You have to make
Right.
some kind of effort. Like, that money didn't just fall in my hands like that. Who makes $1,200 on DoorDash? I've never made it. I've been door dashing for 4 years, but when I dedicated myself to it, I broke it down. I made myself a plan and I executed it. Then I had no choice. God had no other choice but to help his daughter, because I'm doing the work. It's not like,
Right.
I'm not just sitting around and crying about it. I definitely cried last night because I was like, man, I'm not gonna get that, and I had to pay it before 11 this morning, or I had to show up to eviction court. I
Oh
went to my
wow.
I went to my apartments with my receipt, and because I was thinking to him like, okay, I'm down to 120. And I went after I cried and stuff last night. I'm like, man, I could go to eviction court in the morning and the judge will work something out with me, whatever, whatever. But as I was thinking, I'm just like, no, no excuses. Like you shouldn't be thinking of no excuses in your head right now.
Right.
It's going
I,
through.
I
So
am so proud of you. And don't misunderstand. God absolutely blesses, but you got
Amen.
to give him something to bless. If you're just laying around, you're getting money based on other people's kindness,
right.
and it's keeping you in your situation.
Yeah.
Hey, Sapuki, what's up? You got a lot of noise in your background, honey.
I'm sorry, I'll step outside. I wanted to
That's
tell
okay.
her that I am so proud of her, young lady. You doing the right thing. I am truly proud of you. And I wanted to say something else. My grandson, I raised him. His parents ain't worth a flip flop, just being honest. My youngest son can't stay out of prison. His mom is, the county thought. So
Mm-hmm.
I raised him. But you know what? He is 18 years old. He works every day. He pays his own rent, $1,300 a month. He pays his own
Wow.
bills. And he door dashes of the evening when he gets off his regular job. And on the weekends, he'll door dash.
Yeah.
He said, that's my grocery money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? The kid don't ask for nothing. He even went and got a loan on his own and bought him a little car, which I had gave him my old car. I had it fixed up and gave it to him for his 17th birthday. And that
Oh,
youngin has worked every day since he was 16 years old. And these people get on here and beg and cuss and talk to people like they're garbage because they're demanding other people's money so they can lay on their hind end and not do nothing. And
correct.
to me, Maggie and Faith and Tim and Angela, they absolutely make me sick. Maggie wouldn't help nobody.
Oh no. Her giveaway is a gift somebody gave her.
Hmm.
And that's why I didn't definitely didn't come up here. I definitely appreciate the poem, but I didn't come up here to like try to shit on them or anything. It was just definitely to give my testimony to like you can get up and do something. It's all about the fight that you have in you. If you're gonna sit down, you're gonna stay down. You literally have
Right.
to get up. You have to fight. And through tears, through all the resilience, I had to keep going. And it was only because but think about it, like I definitely did it for my kids and to keep my kids comfortable. But if I didn't have those boys, I still would want that for me. I would want to
Right.
be comfortable in here. I wouldn't want to be on the streets. But thank God that I had somebody to look at to push me because the more that I looked at my kids, the more that I saw that they were just comfortable. And because I'm thinking of excuses in my head, that's natural. I'm a human being because I'm like, I may not get it. I may not get it. So I might have to do this. I might have to do that. But the more I thought about it, nah, I don't want them to be uncomfortable. I want them to stay how they are. I kept going. And God literally, down to the last minute this morning, I paid my rent.
I am so proud of you. And to me, you're the person who should have the platform that's applauded.
Exactly.
And you know
Not the nonsense we see here every single day.
and I be thinking about it, but I was like, I don't like I don't know, it's like my life, I'm more so like, I'm not interested in updating people on things that I have going on. Like, no matter what it is, like I graduated college last month and things like that. I just don't, I feel like I celebrate my wins, privately.
I know, but see, this is the thing. If we're going to sit in a live and hear someone talk about their life, I'd rather hear yours and uplift you to keep going
Thank you.
as a young mom doing her thing than listen to somebody with their husband, boyfriend, whatever on the phone talking about, I need a hotel room and can you put money on his books? Like making, or Kate showing her foot, pretending like she don't have lymphedema and pay for my hotel room, but never show proof. Not once.
Right.
Hold on. Good morning, calling BS.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. I'm going to make this real quick. Bougie, I just want to say you made my day. You really did. You bring me to tears.
Don't do that. I be catching you when we be on the panel sometimes together, but I do remember seeing you. Don't do that, Miss.
We're just as proud of you as your kids are proud of you. And if there's
Absolutely.
anything you ever need, we have resources. We are a community. We do bring awareness to beggars and scammers, but we also hold that information and relay it out. And we'd be happy to help you with anything that you may need. We have women in all states around this country, and I just don't know what else to say, but just thank you for
Thankful.
coming
I'm
on, man.
great. And God gave me everything I needed. I promise you. I'm so content. That's the only weight that was on my shoulders. And I'm literally like, woosah. That's why I was able to get on TikTok and I'm like, let me scroll. I'm sitting at my desk and I literally just ran across Miss Digital's live and I'm always on her live. So I guess it gave me her live on my backup page. So I just,
Oh,
and I'm thankful, y'all. I swear I don't have the need for anything because I feel like if he can give me that, he can give me anything.
And if you ever have those days where you need a little inspiration and you're down, please follow Miss Coffee. Please just reach out. Just reach out. We are here.
absolutely.
Thank y'all so much.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you, Calling BS, for coming up and
Thank you
saying
so
that.
much. Yes, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Enjoy your day, everyone.
You
You
too.
too. I'm sure I'll see you floating around the streets today.
Yes.
But thank you, guys. I just wanted to say, like, they're not incapable of. I feel like they're definitely able-bodied people, and we can get up and do anything. I saw a man last night when I was door dashing. He was walking in door dash.
Yep.
So I
Yep.
can only imagine what he was making. But he was going. He wasn't giving up, and that's what I was saying to him. Like these artists, they start coming in slow about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., like $3, $2. But I kept telling myself every dollar counts. If somebody gives me,
Amen.
I'm gonna go get it. So it was kind of tough, and it was pulling at my faith a little bit, but I kept the faith.
Right. Good morning, Carrie. Did you want a box, honey? Carrie?
Yeah, DoorDash is nice. Yeah, yeah, DoorDash
I
is nice.
guess not.
Well,
All
Bougie, I
right,
want you to
y'all.
know I'm really proud of you.
Thank
I
you,
am
And you
Miss.
too.
keep your head up, baby girl, and you just smile because you got this.
I
And
do.
God's got you covered.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a beautiful day. I just really wanted to come up and share my story because they can get up and do something. And I'm not bashing them either. This is with love coming from another hardworking person. I think that we can get up and do it. It would have been easier for me to get up and beg and get talked about, but my pride wouldn't have never let me do that. I would get up and work 2 and 3 jobs before I beg anyone for their hard earned money. So I definitely just wanted to share that with you guys. I didn't think that I would get as much love as I did. Y'all got me too.
What?
No,
Let me tell you.
I'm just and I'm literally doing it with the flu, guys. So I had got the
Oh,
flu on on Sunday.
Bless your heart.
So I've been doing it with the flu, and I'm here in Louisiana, so our weather's been 30 degrees for 2 weeks.
yep. Here in Florida too, child. It's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What Spark? I'm in a small town. Well, not a small town. I'm in a big city in Louisiana, but with Spark, it's so many people, so it's never like open availability in my area for Spark. The only thing that's really popping is DoorDash and Grubhub. So I do them both. I turn them on both at the same time. But Grubhub doesn't really ding like DoorDash because DoorDash likes to give those little orders to chase. But I mean, it did what it did to do.
Correct.
But thank you
Dee
guys
Dee, you can kick
for
me if you want to,
listening.
please.
Oh, yeah.
Have
No
a
problem.
wonderful day.
Thank you.
By the way, guys, next Thursday night around 6 p.m. is gonna be my first Lighthouse with Dee Dee. Okay? That's gonna be where we talk about mental health. I'll let you guys know before now, but that's going to be the first one next Thursday at 6 p.m. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do it maybe different days at different times because DDS is going to come first. I'm never going to not do DDS. So I got to figure out based on my schedule um, and based on my watch schedule, that I am able to do that and do this. So I know sometimes it's going to probably be Wednesday evening. It'll probably be some Saturday nights because I want to be able to reach people. And like 6 o'clock my time is still work time for some people. So it'll be all over the place. But I think that's the first time I'm going to go live is next Thursday at 6 p.m. Hold on one quick. I have the song for today. I appreciate all of you being here and spending time with me for the almost 4 hours. Okay, I'll let you guys know. I'll be announcing it. And we do have Digital After Dark coming January the 31st at 8 p.m. That's a Saturday night. Don't forget it. And this is for us and for them. So please hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Please do some self-care every day. Okay, send me a message. And one final thing. My friends are my friends, and I'm loyal. I don't demand that my friends see it my way. I don't demand that my friends like everything that I do. I expect my friends to be honest, to hold me accountable, to tell me when they don't like something, and to be prepared to do the same, but to have so much love and respect for me that we can agree to disagree. You don't like me? You know what I say. You don't feed me, fund me, or fuck me. Your opinion of me does not matter. But I'm loyal. So my friends are my friends. And I don't care if you don't like it. And one last thing. Nobody tells me what to do. Maybe Mr. And even then, it's a negotiation. I love you all. And I'm going to leave you with this. Echo. Play Is Hot in Here by Nelly.
Here's Hot in Here by Nelly on Amazon Music.
Great day, guys.